This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of Millrock Resources, Mr. Greg Beischer. Greg, it's great to have you back on. How are you in snowy Anchorage?
Thanks, Gerardo. It's snowy indeed. We've had quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, going into full winter mode, coming up on the shortest day of the year here in a few weeks, and we'll be glad to be on the uptick on that front and others as well.
Excellent. Well, look, I wanted to have a conversation with you today. You had some news yesterday that I think is not being appreciated by the market, and not just in the share price, which of course, both of us know that it's taken a bit of a hit. Tax law selling season and the consolidation in the gold space have not been kind, but that will pass as it does. What I don't believe people are appreciating is the execution that you've been able to manifest here in the past 12 months. You've been able to negotiate not one, not two, not three, but a multitude of deals that position Millrock shareholders very, very well for 2022. And if the gold price cooperates the way I think it will in 2022, I think, current levels present a heck of a speculation. But I want to talk about the most recent deal, and I'll read the headline and let you provide the context. The headline reads, Millrock partner Felix Gold lodges initial public offering prospectus on the Australia Securities Exchange, Fairbanks Area Gold Projects, Alaska. If this were a drill release type of news release, it would be very technical in nature. For a release on a deal that you've been able to negotiate, it's very technical for those that maybe don't have that type of experience. And I wanted to have you on to give you an opportunity to kind of go over the structure and the upside potentially for Millrock shareholders.
You bet. I'd be really glad to do that, Gerardo. Often Millrock's deal structure is what's called an earn-in agreement, where we've acquired the mineral rights, shown the geologic potential, and then the partner earns in to typically a majority percentage ownership of the project by spending certain minimum levels on exploration and paying Millrock in cash certain amounts of money, and those payments escalate over time to the end of the option period. So very standard sort of an agreement in our space. And very typical when Millrock does an agreement with, say, a major mining company. In the case of the Fairbanks projects, we've made a deal with a junior company. In fact, it was a deal that you saw last January with a private Australian company. A good one, though, backed by sound geological people, sound financial people. And so we were pleased to do the deal. We placed in that company our Fairbanks area projects, of which we had two. They were owned by prospectors, and we had made agreements with those prospectors years ago at low cost. And so, I think that Millrock probably invested maybe a total of $250,000 in those Fairbanks area projects. And, we've already made back more than that money through this year as the company, which is called Felix Gold, spent money working with us as operator, Millrock operating, making some management fees, getting some cash payments. So we've recovered all of our initial investment and more besides. So at this point, Millrock shareholders have nothing at risk. But in return for signing our property rights over to Felix Gold, they promised to pay us 10% of their shares upon listing on the Australia Securities Commission, or exchange rather. And so they've lodged the paperwork for that. It'll take about 6 weeks if all successful under the current schedule. Then in January, Felix Gold will become a free trading company on the ASX, and Millrock will own 10% of the company after they've raised in excess of $10 million that'll go towards those projects. And the value of that stock on the initial public offering day when they start to trade will be in the area of 1.8 million US dollars at a share price of 25 cents. So I think just on the face of that alone, this is a great deal for Millrock shareholders. But there's more. So let's say that the exploration that Felix Gold will do next year with that $10 million is successful, that they start to find gold. Well, it's not unreasonable to think of those shares going from 25 cents to $2.50. So all of a sudden, Millrock shareholdings were worth maybe $20 or $25 million. If we monetize that, we're setting our shareholders up for a good win. If it's a really great discovery that they make, and you and I have both seen it before when a company is be a $10 or a $20 share price, and so now we're talking $100 or $200 million worth of shares, and then we've really done our job for our shareholders at that point. And on top of all that, we get royalties on all the properties. So if production starts to occur, we get net smelter return royalties. But before that, even, we're entitled to receive advanced minimum royalties, which escalate over time. And those we could get up to 3 streams of royalties from these projects. And within a few years, that could be paying for all of Millrock's overhead alone. So I think it's a great deal. Different than what we usually do. I know it's a little hard to understand, but I think you would understand that this is a great deal for Millrock shareholders.
And just to provide some context here, when we talk about, the potential for a company, and it happens, quickly in this space with a good discovery, right, to become a $100, $200, $300 million company. What's Millrock's current market cap as it stands today?
Right. We're around $10 million market cap. So, monetizing those shares at a higher share price is going to do a world of good for Millrock share price.
This, of course, is just one of the deals that you've recently executed. How are things coming along on the 64 North side and the various other projects and partnerships in the portfolio?
Yeah, we've done a couple other similar deals like that. One with Coeur d'Alene Mines on the Apex project, gold project in southeast Alaska. That'll get drilled next year. Somewhat similar deals on 2 of our Mexico projects, one gold, one porphyry copper. And everything marches ahead at 64 North. As you know, the initial exploration over the last year and a half hasn't produced the results we'd all hoped. But nevertheless, the partner, Resolution Minerals, is still raising money, still spending it on the project. Again, we're a big shareholder of Resolution, so we want them to succeed. And they just completed a month or so ago a trenching program on a prospect I've always liked called Tourmaline Ridge, just to the west of the Pogo gold mine. And those results probably are going to be received right around Christmas. They probably won't get published till early in the new year, but who knows? There could be something good there. But overall, I think there's going to be drilling carried out by partners with their funding on at least 5 and as many as 7 Millrock projects in 2022. So lots of opportunities for discovery success and Millrock share price increase.
Well, that's what the better management teams do during quiet markets and consolidations, is position for the next leg up. I have all the faith in the world that a significant next leg up is coming here at the end of the year and early 2022. I'm looking forward to it. Greg, anything else to add to that?
Just that there's more projects in the pipeline that we'll be able to talk about in detail soon. As you know, we tend towards porphyry copper and copper gold type deposit models often, because those are the huge things that major companies want to buy out. But we're also very interested in the various energy metals. Nickel, of course, has got a brilliant future coming in the next years. Copper continues to be great, and we were always going to go after that. But we also really like what often goes along with nickel deposits, which is platinum group elements. And so we've got a project coming with those metals featured.
A lot to like. Looking forward to it. Thank you for that thorough update, Greg. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, Gerardo. Have a great Christmas.
You as well. Stay safe out there.
Will do. Bye.